Hi guys. What I want to talk to you today is about how I go from idea, or how a book gets from the idea stage to a finished product. So what I'm going to do is talk to you about some certain words for vocabulary that's used in the publishing world. So I guess the first thing I want to mention is that a story always has to begin with an idea. And once I have an idea, then I get right to work with writing my ideas down. So I will oftentimes use just traditional paper and pencil to write down a story, but mostly I will use my computer. I'll use the Word document on my computer, and I will type up what's called a manuscript. And a manuscript, this is a manuscript of a current story that I'm working on. It's just the entire story written out exactly how you envision it to be. In my manuscript, I have my character, any dialogue that they're going to say, any text that I want in the story, I type out into a manuscript. And once I feel like I have the story down from beginning to end, then I take it to the next step. I have to get it critiqued, and I will get it critiqued, which means looked at, by some very wonderful people that I trust. They are called my critique partners. So what I do is I will either take the manuscript to them when we have a direct face-to-face meeting, or I will email them the manuscript. And what my critique partners will do is they will pull it apart. They will tell me exactly what's great about the manuscript and what's not so great about it. And like I said, these people I trust. They're fellow writers, other authors, and I trust everything they say. So I want them to be honest with me. So what a critique looks like would be, something like this. They will take my story and they will make their own notes about it, such as these little these little lines here are notes that my one critique partner said about this, and they'll tell me if a line was funny, or if they thought something needed to be taken out, or if maybe the ending wasn't very strong. So they'll tell me anything and everything that is good and not so good about the story. So then once I have the critique done from my critique partners, I go back and I do something called revision, revise. And that is where I will go back to the manuscript and I will make the changes that I feel are best for the story. And it'll be based on what my critique partners have said. So I will go back to my computer, I'll pull it up, I'll make the changes, I'll type up the changes, add anything that I think needs to be added, and then I'll send the new revision, the next draft of the manuscript, back to my critique partners. And this whole back and forth, it takes a while. It can take weeks, it can take months, sometimes even years. While going back and forth until you feel like you have the manuscript exactly the way it needs to be. And then once that does happen, once I feel like the manuscript is perfect, that I can't make any more changes to it, then I take it to the next step, which is I will do something called submission. I will submit my manuscript as perfect as I can possibly get it. I will submit it to either a literary agent or a publishing house. So talking about my two books here that came out recently, what I did was I took the manuscripts and I sent them directly to a publisher. In this case, it was Blue Whale Press. And I knew Blue Whale Press was looking for certain stories, so I queried them. Query means you send the manuscript to them with an explanation of it and a little bit about who you are. And what the publisher will do, or what a literary agent will do, is they will read your story. They'll read your manuscript. And if they like it, great. They will offer you what they call a contract or rejection. And the rejection seems to happen a lot more than the actual offers. So with Blue Whale Press, I was very, very lucky. I received an email and after they read my manuscript, and they said, we would like to call you. So after I did that, we talked on the phone a little bit. I talked to the woman who is what you call the editor of the publisher. And so we chatted about the story, and she's the editor. What she does, her job is to change some things about the story. She will either make changes herself, or she will ask me to make some changes. And then the editor or the publisher will suggest an illustrator. So in this book here, Paulina Gortman was the illustrator for Randall and Randall, and Alicia Young is the illustrator for Porky Pet and Moppet. The publisher will decide on the illustrators, and then the illustrators get to work. And pretty much once all of that is done, then pretty much the book is finished. Now there's a lot more other things that go on behind the scenes, but those were some of just a basic rundown of how a book gets from idea to finished product. So I hope that made it a little bit more clear to you. And what I'm going to do in some next videos is go a little bit deeper into specific parts of my writing process. So I hope you enjoyed that, and everybody stay safe. Bye.